In this video, I'm going to show you how to get Kali Linux installed and running within Hyper-V on a Windows 11 computer. Installation is actually very simple. In this example, I have got Kali running within Hyper-V as well as a VMware Workstation Pro. Choice is up to you. I'll talk about some of the advantages, disadvantages later in the video, but I firstly want to focus on getting Kali installed within Hyper-V, and that's what I'll start with in this video. If you just want to see the advantages and disadvantages of, for instance, VirtualBox or VMware Workstation Pro versus Hyper-V, then jump to this timestamp in the video. But notice I could open up a terminal here. This is Kali within Hyper-V, and I can ping, for example, google.com. Again, this is Kali within Hyper-V within Windows 11. If I go to Hyper-V Manager, as you can see there, I've got Kali Linux 2024.4 running within Hyper-V. When you watch this video, there may be a newer release of Kali available. Simply download that release of Kali, and then you could import it into Hyper-V. Okay, but that's enough talking. Let me show you how to get Kali up and running. First thing I'll do is do a search for about your computer or about my computer. What I need to point out here is the version of Windows that I'm running is Windows 11 Pro. There are some prerequisites to using Hyper-V. So on the Microsoft website, we've got some requirements. I'll link this article below this video. But as an example, Hyper-V is available in 64-bit versions of Windows 11 Pro and Enterprise. You don't get this if you've got Windows 11 Home. And that's one of the reasons why you want to use VMware Workstation Pro or, as an example, VirtualBox rather than Hyper-V, because you may only have Windows 11 Home. And Hyper-V is not available in that version of Windows. There are some other requirements, including Hyper-V requiring second-level address translation, which is available in current generations of 64-bit processors by Intel and AMD. If you want to run 3 or 4 basic virtual machines, you need 4 GB of RAM. So in other words, there are some prerequisites or requirements with regards to both the operating system as well as the hardware if you want to run Hyper-V. You need a virtualization as an example. So VTX on Intel CPUs, you need a minimum of 4 GB of RAM. Virtualization needs to be enabled in the BIOS of your computer. So first thing again is type about and make sure that you have Windows 11 Pro or Enterprise. Next check is Open Task Manager, go to Performance, go to CPU, and I'll make this a bit bigger. You need to see that virtualization is enabled. If virtualization is not enabled, you need to go and enable that in the BIOS of your computer. That will vary on the hardware that you're using. So make sure that you've got virtualization enabled before you download and try and use Kali Linux within Hyper-V. Okay, so once you've confirmed that you've got the right version of Windows, such as Windows 11 Pro, and that virtualization is enabled, make sure that you enable Hyper-V. So I'm going to search for Windows features. So turn Windows features on and off and make sure that Hyper-V is enabled. So this is checked, as well as Hyper-V management tools and the Hyper-V platform. So those options are now enabled, which means that I can search for Hyper-V and run the Hyper-V manager. At the moment, I have no virtual machines running on this laptop. So what we need to do now is download Kali. So I'm going to go to kali.org and I'm going to click download. I'm going to download a virtual machine. The virtual machine that we're going to download in this example is Hyper-V. It's about 3.2 gig in size. So I'm going to select that option and download it. It's a 7Z file. So as you can see there, it's downloading. It's going to take about 6 minutes in my example. But what I've already done is pre-download the software. So in my downloads directory, I've got the 7Z software already downloaded. So I'm going to right-click on that and click Extract All and extract the 7Z file. Now, the Kali developers have created documentation showing you how to import pre-made Kali Hyper-V virtual machines. It's very easy, as they say here. They say that you need the official 7Z app. I didn't have to download that and use it. There's been some issues with that software, so I've simply used Windows. And then they tell you that once you've unzipped it, you need to run the install VM bat file, and I'll show you that in a moment. But basically, the documentation is available on the Kali website. It's very, very simple to set this up. Okay, so there you go. The file has been extracted. If I double click on the directory, you'll see this install VM bat file. So I'll double click to run that file. Now in my example, Microsoft Defender Smart Screen prevented this unrecognized app from starting. Running this app may put your PC at risk. Now you need to decide if you want to allow this and run Kali Linux on your computer. There are always risks running operating systems like this on your computer. So the decision is yours, but I'm happy to do that. So I'm going to click more info, and we're told that it's an unknown publisher. I'm happy to install this. So I'm going to click run anyway. Now we asked, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? I'm happy to do that. So I'm going to say yes. Bat script runs, and we're told now your Kali Linux virtual machine is ready. In order to use it, please start Hyper-V Manager. Other information is shown here. I'll press any key to continue. The script closes, and again, I can run the Hyper-V Manager. And what you'll notice now is the virtual machine has appeared. State is off, so I'm going to right-click and click Connect. We're told that the machine is turned off. So do I want to start it? Yes, I do. So I'm going to click Start. Machine is now booting up. And as you can see there, the Kali Linux virtual machine is booting up. We then asked to adjust the screen size. So I want to make this a bit bigger. This will depend on your computer. So I'll make it, for example, 2048 by 1536 and click Connect. The default username is Kali. Default password is Kali, all in lowercase. So I'll log in, and there you go. Kali has booted up. Now you can't adjust the screen using this interface. You'll have to shut the virtual machine down and then start it up again if you want to resize the desktop. But before I do that, I'll open up a terminal once again. I'll zoom in here, maximize it, and ping google.com. And as you can see, I have IP connectivity from this virtual machine. I can close that down. If I want to shut it down, I can go to Action, Shut Down. Do I really want to shut down this virtual machine? Yes, I do. So I'm going to shut it down. And notice we're told that the virtual machine is now turned off. So what I can do is click Start to boot it up again. I'll log in. Username is Kali. And there you go. I've logged in. So very simple to get Kali Linux up and running. You can go and change your settings by going to File Settings and adjusting various settings here. Now, one of the things I don't like about Hyper-V is it's not as easy to set up things like network adapters, like a Wi-Fi network adapter within Hyper-V. Connecting an adapter like this is a lot easier in VMware Workstation Pro or VirtualBox. So as an example, if I plug this in to the laptop, I've installed a drive on Windows, so it's recognized. So adapter is now working, but it's not very easy to set this up in Hyper-V. If I boot up Kali within VMware Workstation Pro, however, it's very easy to connect to the adapter. So as you can see there, Kali is booting within VMware Workstation Pro. I am running it at the same time in Hyper-V. So I'll log in to Kali on VMware Workstation Pro. Notice firstly, I can adjust the screen size very easy in VMware. Just by moving this around, I can adjust the desktop. That's not available in Hyper-V. So again, if I maximize Kali within Hyper-V, it doesn't adjust the desktop. In VMware Workstation Pro, however, if I maximize the desktop, notice that's automatically adjusted. That's one reason out of many that I prefer VMware Workstation Pro. Now notice what happens when I unplug the network adapter. So I'll unplug it from the laptop. So it's unplugged now, and then I'll plug it back in again. VMware Workstation Pro picks that up, and I can simply say connect the adapter to the virtual machine. Now when I open up a terminal and type iwconfig, that Wi-Fi adapter is available immediately within VMware Workstation Pro. So getting an external Wi-Fi adapter connected to VMware Workstation Pro is a lot easier than using Hyper-V. Another reason why I prefer VirtualBox or VMware Workstation Pro. VMware Workstation Pro is free now, so you don't have to pay for it, whereas in the past you had to pay for the software. Now there's a lot of controversy with regards to VMware and the changes that have happened with Broadcom, so you may prefer not to use VMware Workstation Pro, but you could use VirtualBox. Same thing, works really well. Again, I would personally use VirtualBox rather than Hyper-V, but it's your choice. Please put comments below why you would prefer to use Hyper-V versus a VirtualBox or VMware Workstation. The other disadvantage of Hyper-V, once again, is that you need Windows 11 Enterprise or Windows 11 Pro, whereas with VirtualBox or with Workstation Pro, you can use Windows Home Edition, so you don't need these versions of Windows. Now, one of the reasons people may recommend Hyper-V is because of WSL, but in Windows, I'm going to search for Kali, and notice I've got a Kali Linux app running. This is Kali within WSL. So I could zoom in here as an example and type lsb_release-a, And notice I'm running Kali within a command prompt, in other words, within WSL. To demonstrate that again, I could close the tab down. Here I'm running PowerShell, and I could say WSL-list. I've got 2 operating systems here, and if I just type WSL, it should start Kali because that's the default distribution. So I'll press enter. Kali is now running. Again, LSB_release-A shows us that we're running Kali. So I've got Kali running within WSL. I've got Kali running within Hyper-V, and I've got Kali running within VMware Workstation Pro. Again, please put in the comments below reasons why you would prefer running Kali within Hyper-V versus VMware Workstation or a VirtualBox, or do you prefer one of those instead of WSL or Hyper-V? What's your favorite virtualization application as an example? Now, I'm hoping this has helped you. Very short video showing you how to get Kali Linux up and running within Hyper-V. I'm David Bombal, and I want to wish you all the very best.